Iassac Carson. We're doing it in alphabetical order. Now, to be brutally frank, and I think you'll all agree, blazing speed is not necessarily a hallmark of San Mateo County athletics. We have it, but we don't have a ton of it. So when we have somebody like Iassac Carson in our midst, we pay attention. And in the early 80s, he was a gifted hurdler at Jefferson High School in Daly City. Arguably, one of the fastest athletes ever to come out of Jefferson, which has a long and outstanding history, by the way. So he was a section champion. He was a league champion. He went to Nebraska, where he's still in the record book for relays, sprints, and so on and so forth. But I think what's most important about a man like Iassac Carson is he represented his family, his school, his community, and certainly himself with dignity and grace. And he's here tonight.
So just dance, dance, dance. So just dance, dance, dance. Ooh, it's something magical. It's in the air, it's in my blood, it's rushing on.
Wow, thank you. That was great. I was reading somewhere on the website about inductees in the Hall of Fame, and it mentioned something about athletes that inspire others. So I wanted to take the time to talk about a couple of people who inspired me throughout my years in high school and in college and now as an adult. One of the people that inspired me was an athlete that I ran with. He was extremely fast. I'll just say it, not as fast as I eventually became, but he was extremely fast, and he was my first hurdle, my first challenge. I had to beat this guy. Each track meet, 1, 2, and 3, we would place 1, 2, and 3. He would be first. There would be another guy that's second, and then I would be third. And that's my buddy over there, Julio Gutierrez. Now, Julio inspired me to become better than what I was. Julio inspired me to work out harder. Not knowing this, but I just wanted to beat him. No matter what I did, I just wanted to beat him. I eventually, at the end of my freshman year, I moved up a notch. I took second. He still took first. I took second. But he was one inspiration for me. Another inspiration was a late coach, Mike Rueda. He coached at Jefferson High School, and he passed away my senior year. Mike Rueda taught me one of the most important lessons, which is to never give up. Don't be afraid to fail. And understand if you fail, you have to learn something from it. Whether you fail or you succeed, if you don't learn anything from it, then it is a failure. And I'm currently, I have my bachelor's degree, my master's in education, and I teach my kids about failure and how that leads to success and never giving up. And Mike Rueda taught me that. It was kind of harsh. I remember being injured, and we sat down and we watched a race. It was one of the big track meets that we had for the year. And he said to me, after the guy won the race and collected his medal, he whispered to me, "How does it feel knowing that that guy has your medal?" And it hurt. But it inspired me to always work out, make sure that I was prepared, make sure that I stretched before every track meet, make sure that I ate well. But quite honestly, it was 15 through 18, so eating well just meant I was going to have lettuce on my Big Mac. And instead of having a candy bar, I'd have a banana. I still had the candy bar, but I had the banana also. Lastly, a reporter. His name is Mark Foyer. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that name correctly. Mark Foyer, inspired me with his typewriter. And that goes to speak on how long ago I ran, because he was actually using a typewriter. Mark Foyer, I would make sure that I got the newspaper after every track meet to make sure my name was in that newspaper. And if it didn't make that newspaper, I worked out harder and harder so that I can make that newspaper. And if I did make the newspaper, I continued to work out harder and harder than before, because I wanted to keep my name in that newspaper so that everyone would know who I was. So, Julio Gutierrez, Mark Foyer, and Mike Rueda, both examples of why I'm here tonight. They pushed me. So I want to thank them. I want to thank the Peninsula Hall of Fame and everyone that voted for me this night. Thank you.